was a great weekend for comedy specials. I know my brother Chris Rock had his thing, and I also had a new special come out. God Loves Me, available right now on HBO Max. Brothers, you can't bootleg streaming. But you can share passwords. But let's be real. The funniest comedy special last weekend was the CPAC, or as I like to call it, Crazy White People. If you don't know about it, it's an annual event where all the Karens and their husbands come together and they complain about the rest of us. The Karens and the Darrens. And we watched it, so you didn't have to.
The Biden administration sucks.
This can never be said at a Democrat gathering. Look at all the beautiful women here.
Wokeness is a virus more dangerous than any pandemic, hands down.
We will support baby boomers, and we will support baby bonuses for a new baby boom. How does that sound? That sounds pretty. I want a baby boom. To use a strong couple of words, insane asylum. Insane asylum, that's where... Anybody see Silence of the Lamb? That's where they come from.
Check under your seats. If there happens to be a gold chocolate bar underneath there, that's a VIP. Oh, I'm not joking. That's a VIP ticket to my father's reception tomorrow at CPAC.
What the is with his fingers? Why does he have hot dog's fingers from everything, everywhere, all at once? It looks like 10 limp dicks playing piano. I like how Donald Jr.'s always like, Democrats are pedophiles. Anyway, if you come with me, I'll give you chocolate.
A recent study links the dramatic increase in cases of kids accidentally ingesting cannabis to the legalization of marijuana. Researchers have seen a nearly 1,400% increase, with about 200 cases reported in 2017 compared to more than 3,000 cases in 2021.
Wait, how can you even tell if a little kid is high? No, because them little f***ers always sound high. Daddy, if a cloud had legs, would it be a snowman? Nigga, you in my stash again. And weed isn't just dangerous for little children, it's also dangerous for adult children, like Chet Hanks.
Go sucker your mama dirty stinking crotches. Spit upon your granny grave.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm just saying the shit you'd want to say. So parents, please be responsible for the health and the well-being of your family. Send me your drugs for safekeeping. I might get some back to you. For real though, here's what I want to know. Why is weed the only drug put in food? How come there's no crack in edibles? Think about it. They already got Hershey Crackle. You're halfway there. Just put the crack in it. What drew me to white chicks was its mythological roots, which I found almost Homeric in scope. Let's take a look.
Is everything all right in there?
In preparation for that scene, I mentally drew from Act 4, Scene 3 of Macbeth. So powerful. I also took so many laxatives that I thought I saw a knife floating in front of me and I tried to stab myself. It's still in the white chick Snyder cut. I was watching Fox News last night because apparently I hate my life. But I learned something. You know how the whole world remembers January 6th as the day a bunch of violent Trump fans stormed into the Capitol? Well, according to Fox News, we just got the footage wrong.
Fox News host Tucker Carlson aired the first clips of the unseen January 6th surveillance footage given to him by Speaker Kevin McCarthy. On his show last night, he said the insurrection was mostly peaceful chaos, adding that the people who forced themselves into the Capitol weren't, quote, insurrectionists, they were sightseers.
We're going to get inside with footage that shows you what was actually happening inside the Capitol. And that video tells a very different story about what happened on January 6th. Protesters queue up in neat little lines. They give each other tours outside the Speaker's office. They take cheerful selfies and they smile. They're not destroying the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol.
Sightseeing my black ass. If you have to punch a cop on your way in, you're not sightseeing. You fight seeing. All Tucker Carlson proved is that you can make anything look better by not showing the bad part. How come they never show 9/11 planes taking off? In a way, some of this footage is even more disturbing. Like, there was this guy at the riot who was just cleaning shit up. That's a straight-up psychopath. I bet this guy goes to the orgies and does Wordle. Guys, I got it. I got it in 4 guesses. Come on, guys, stop f***ing each other. Put your dick away. It's grape.
Why you buff, son? Got to be.
You the most buff man ever. You should do an action movie. Like on some Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Every day is an action movie, man.
Some Arnold Schwarzenegger Negro shit.
Yeah, and you look like young, like you. Is being mayor stress? It depends, you know. It's stressful is growing up in the neighborhood, not knowing where your meal is going to come from and eating that hard-ass cheese that they used to make us eat. That's stress.
So you plan on softening the government cheese?
You can't soften that,
You
man.
can melt it.
Hey, tell me the secret. Because we used to put it in the oven and we're leaving it there for half an hour and it was still hard.
You got that same shit? Yo, I couldn't shit for months. Yo, that's bug. I had a question. This is random.
Right.
How come I can't buy hot food on my EBT card?
That's a good question. I didn't even know that.
Bruh, just cold shit? Why poor people gotta eat cold shit?
And they shouldn't. I didn't know you can.
Change that. Veto that. We changing that bill.
So we're gonna look at it. And we're gonna name the bill after you.
Quan.
Yes.
The Quan bill.
Yes.
You know how many hoes I'm gonna get for that? The Quan bill. I got a bill named after me. Ho, I got a bill named after me. Nah, but real talk, let me give you some real serious shit. You really do be working out.
Got to every morning, man. 5 a.m.
5 a.m. You like, son, do you or do you not be in the clubs? Because I hear you be partying.
Listen, I'm a nightlife man, man. I gotta test the product.
So, son, how you gonna say you up at 5 a.m. when you ain't even sleep, son?
Listen, my dad said, you hang out with the boys, you gotta get up with the men.
Oh, that's real, son. Yo, I with you, man. I with you. So, let me ask you some real shit. Weed.
Yes.
You smoke?
That's a tough question, man.
It's legal.
You know? Yeah. Nah, I don't smoke.
Secondhand?
All you gotta do is walk down the block. Secondhand is everywhere now. Yeah, you know? Listen, we made it legal, but we just don't want it. We don't want our children smoking on their way to school.
Right.
Or getting that gummy bears and other bullshit that they selling. Right. You know, we need to be real clear on that. Because I know if you...
They should smoke after school. Yeah. Now let's get real.
Yes.
Man, I'm gonna soften you up. Now we got some real shit to ask you. You said that prayers go out the classroom, guns come in.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm a church boy. You know
yes.
what I'm saying? I may not look
I can tell. I can tell.
But
man.
my grandmother go to church.
She prayed a lot.
She prayed a lot.
That's how you made it.
But see, prayer don't always work.
Yes, it does.
No, because my grandma prayed over my gay cousin her whole life. She's still gay as hell.
If your grandmother prayed for your cousin, then she's gonna pray for her to be happy and find peace. And that peace may not be your peace.
Bars. That man got bars. All right, I with you, man. Let's talk about Fox News. They're dealing with a big lawsuit right now, and because of it, a bunch of Fox News hosts had to give up all their private texts. So we've been finding out what they really think about Donald Trump. And it's hilarious.
According to court documents, host Tucker Carlson texted a producer on January 4th, 2021. We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. Referring to Trump, Carlson says, I hate him passionately. I can't handle much more of this.
Carlson added, we're all pretending we've got a lot to show for it because admitting what a disaster it's been is too tough to digest. But come on, there really isn't an upside to Trump.
Oh, that's fighting words. Oh, white on white crime. Let's go. All right, I know this looks bad, but their makeup sex is going to be so much hotter. You know, this is so embarrassing for Fox News. If they want to keep their shit quiet, they should do what the crack dealers do. Use a payphone. Yo, it's Tucker. Listen, Black Lives Matter. They really do. They really do. All right, hit me back on my burner. I'm enjoying this, though. I have never seen someone's private text that was so opposite from their public persona. This is like finding out Nikki Haley has a black sin. She got texts like, oh, hell no, y'all ain't coming at Nimrata like that. Sorry, boo-boo. But if I'm being honest, I do feel for Tucker a little. Because it's brutal when your private shit talk gets put out in the open like that. It actually happened to my brothers just this week. I remember when you fell asleep and Omar sleep with his eyes open like that.
Yeah.
And me, him, and Tupac Shakur was hanging out because y'all did Juice together.
Oh, my goodness.
And Omar sleeping
you really
like
bring this up?
And what people don't know about Pac is like he was a funny dude.
He was a funny dude.
Omar sleeping like that, and Pac went and took his balls and put them out and put them right near Omar's mouth, so it looked like Omar's like there. I remember one time.
Why did you just do that?
I don't know. Because you're talking about all these sad memories. My love passing, and I remember the baby's born and the umbilical cord and the shape of it.
Yeah,
nigga, where's the jokes? Come on now. We had some good times.
I was mad at Pac for that though. I was super mad. Like, yo, son, you really gonna do that?
Yeah, but you always get mad. You ain't gotta. You gotta work on that. You got anger issues, man.
I don't have anger. If somebody take their nuts out next to your mouth while you sleep, like that would have went viral right now. This is when we used to take Polaroids.
Yeah, but see, you should have just woke up like that, bop, and just hit him one time. I was asleep, and it was just did like this, like a speed bag. Out of black actors out there in Hollywood that are nominated, who else do you think should be nominated for an Oscar? I got all the black guys, handsome, kind of tall, good looking, funny, but not over the top, but can be over the top if you actually make him in that situation. Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
You ain't funny in everything, man.
You're right.
Now, you're not funny in everything.
Which movie was I most unfunny in?
You was in one of them corny shits.
What was the corny shit I did?
I can't remember right now, but it was corny, man.
Okay, Little Man?
Little Man was the shit, man. Come back with Little Man Part 2.
So your interview with Jake Paul went viral last month. You roasted him, and then he lost his fight. Did that make you happy? Is that a hateful prayer you put out in the universe?
I'll be honest, I didn't want to watch the fight because I didn't want to watch him fight. Like, he's not actually a fighter. But he told us, because I asked him, because he fancies himself as a boxing promoter, like a businessman. So I'm like, what happens if you lose? Because I'm thinking about the money of it. And he's like, well, I don't have a loser mentality. That seems to be how you live life. And I'm like, dude, I'm 42 years old. Like, you're not going to nanny, boo-boo me into this. But then
you sure you 42?
I am 42.
Nanny boo-boo. I thought you were 72. I thought my grandfather was sitting here for a second. I said,
But I tell you this, when I found out Jake Paul had a rematch clause, I was like, oh, who the loser now, dog? It seems like you had a plan just in case you got your ass whooped, which, by the way, is a generally good idea. Right. You just ain't got to lie about it.
Right. You think he'll whoop your ass?
So it's a dilemma. Because on one hand, there are weight classes for a reason. On the other hand, I am 42 years old.
Yeah.
I can't lose no fight to Jake Paul. Right? Why? Because I can't. Like, I can't go. I don't have kids, so I don't have it with them where, like, you can't beat me. But if Jake Paul beats me up in public, one of us at some point is going to have to die. There's no other option.
Here's another surprise you probably saw coming a mile away. An anti-gay Republican just got caught in a thirst trap.
Our top story this morning, Tennessee's lieutenant governor is receiving criticism after making several comments on nearly naked photos of a 20-year-old gay man with his blue-checked government account.
Over the last 3 years, the lieutenant governor has been regularly commenting on these extremely racy pictures of an influencer. Everything from typing out fire emojis where the male user had posted his backside to commenting that he has, quote, a super look and that he loves his content. Here's what his press team had to say. Trying to apply something sinister or inappropriate about a great-grandfather's use of social media says more about the mind of the left-wing operative making the implication than it does about Randy McNally. Does he always use the proper emoji at the proper time? Maybe not, but he enjoys interacting with constituents and Tennesseans of all religions, backgrounds, and orientations on social media, adding he has no intention of stopping.
Yeah, I bet he has no intention of stopping. I don't like to stop while I'm jerking either. I love his excuse, though. His excuse is he's a great-grandfather. That doesn't make it better. The worst part is, he probably called his grandson in to teach him how to use Instagram. Hey, Blake, Grandpa wants to tell this hot young twink that he can ride my face like a unicycle. What emoji should Paul use? So it's clear that after-school programs are hugely beneficial. The problem is they just don't get a lot of money. The federal government is barely funding these programs, and state governments aren't doing much better. But it is possible because California did it. In fact, for the past 20 years, California has outspent all the other 49 states combined on after-school programs, which is messed up because California actually has shit to do after school. I mean, seriously, like, compare that to South Dakota. There ain't shit to do in South Dakota. Kids can only look at Mount Rushmore for so long before they're like, all right, it's time to do some meth. But the reason California spends so much on after-school programs is thanks to the work of one very kind, dedicated kindergarten teacher.
In 2002, Arnold Schwarzenegger was almost single-handedly responsible for California's passage of Prop 49, which made after-school funding mandatory. Even today, the former governor raises money for after-school programs with fun charity events, like crushing things with his tank.
I'm inviting you personally to Los Angeles and to crush things in my tank with me. Let's crush a taxi cab. Let's crush a piano. This will benefit the after-school all-stars. So what are you waiting for? Let's go around and crush things with that tank.
Who knew that big buff mother loved kids? Save the children. We got to get more celebrities to turn their obsessions into charity. Tom Cruise, start jumping out of airplanes to save baby seals. Snoop Dogg, smoke weed for global warming, baby. Leonardo DiCaprio, well, if you've seen his girlfriends, he's already running an after-school program. I'm sorry, Leo. They made me say it. Please let me in your parties.